Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hopefully all of you are doing well. And I'm back with another flavor of the month. And this one's for March, the month of March. And I got a first impression for this month's flavor of the month. No Q&A with this one. I was lazy, I was slacking, didn't get a question out there. But I will say this is also a new release. The new releases have been flying in like hotcakes. And when this one was announced, I was very excited for it. I really like this line. And I really like my gourmand fragrances, so why wouldn't I like this line for sure? But the one we are going to be talking about, the new release, is from the house of Emporio Armani, and it is Strong with You Parfum. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about basically the way the bottle looks, so the presentation. We're going to be talking about the box, and then also going to be talking about a little bit of wearability in a sense of how this thing smells and if I'd wear it at night or day. But I can't comment on performance. I can't comment on longevity and projection because I haven't even sprayed the fragrance on yet. As you can tell, it's still in the wrapper. And then also, the most important thing to me, going to be talking about how the darn thing smells here. Now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Means a lot to me, helps the videos out, and appreciate any support possible. Now, I'll be right back to talk more Strong with You Parfum right after this. Two things before we hop more into March's flavor of the month. First one is just a little channel update. Just want to let you all know I have some more releases on the way, such as Aqua de Jo's Elixir, got that coming up. And then I got Forever One of the Elixir, going to be having that on the channel here very soon. And then John Paul Gutierrez Absolute Elixir, or Elixir Absolute, how you pronounce that. So those three are going to be coming on the channel as soon as they get to my door. And then also, I'm going to be making a buying guide for this. So I'm going to be trying it out, the whole line, even the limited editions. So basically, once I give this more wearings and I get Strong with You Sandalwood, I might do a solo review or first impression on Strong with You Sandalwood, but when I'm able to get that one, we will do a Emporio Armani Strong with You buying guide on the channel, just going through which one would be worth it to you and your taste, and it's worth your money. And I will say, I've heard some of those limited editions are discontinued, so if you want to track down a bottle of those if you do not have it yet, but definitely want to wait on Strong with You Sandalwood to get that one in before I make that buying guide. Just a little channel update for you all. And then second thing, and this is one of the most important things, you all in the comments need to let me know what you think of this fragrance. What do you think of the Strong with You line? Very curious to hear your all's opinions about this fragrance line and Strong with You Parfum if you have smelled it before. So, you know. But yeah, let's hop into this one here. So presentation, here's the box. So you got that in the front, Strong with You Parfum. And then mine came with this like little sticker on the side here. I got mine from a discounter. I'm not really going to say the discounter I got it from because I'm not too happy with that discounter. So I will say off this fragrance, but that's not the point. So, alrighty. There it is, kind of in the wrapping. Let's take off the wrapping here. Let's hop into this. Wrapping's on tight. And these are, the usual presentations are the same on all these fragrances, I will say, if you got any other fragrances from the Strong with You line. Of course, the exclusive editions, or yeah, limited editions, they're all colorful. They all have different colors. But these are kind of a brownish tint. We'll see if this one's the same here, as I'm having trouble getting open the box. Oh yeah, it's got the little Armani sign on the front there too, if you're interested in that. Alrighty. That's a pretty heavy bottle. We'll see if I can get this tossed up and caught. I did. I caught it. I caught it. There it is. So, a little box toss for you all. I got the 3.3 ounce. There it is. Cap clicks into place. You got to be careful with these caps because, see, I'm trying to click it and it won't click, but kind of squeaks too, hurts the ears. Chalkboard. But let's go ahead and try to click it in the right place. See, it clicks into place if you got it right. And this bottle's a little different compared to the rest. It's kind of all brown. The other bottles, what I've noticed, are kind of clear. This one isn't clear. It kind of it's kind of amber brownish kind of color, I guess you could call it. And then it kind of has a black gradient going down here, so it fades into all black. I like the look of this bottle here. On the bottom, got a little sticker there. And on the back, you got nothing. But yeah, let's, enough about the presentation. Enough about the presentation. And the cap's metal. It feels a little like, I don't think it's plastic. It feels metal to me, but I might be wrong. Not the first time I've been wrong, I will say. So, alrighty. Let's go ahead, give Strong With You a spray. I'm going to give it a spray on the front of my hand here, and I'll give it a spray in the air too as well. Get the best of both worlds, okay? So let's try this one out. Strong With You Parfum. First impression, let's do it. There we go, good spray. Toss that up in the air. Okay. Let's go ahead and smell it off skin first. After that smell, and then I'll give my impression here. Okay. So in the air as I was smelling it, you do get that chestnut, very chestnut forward fragrance here. A little gourmand feel to it as well. Getting some vanilla vibes off this too. I will say off first rip, compared to the other fragrances in the line, like Intensely, Absolutely, this one feels a little bit more reined back to me. Maybe a little bit, I think Intensely, as of now, off first spray, off first rip, Intensely is the one for me that packs the biggest punch. And then Absolutely these two would probably fall next to each other if we're talking about biggest push. Just off first spray here, okay? Just off first spray. And when I'm comparing these fragrances, I'm going to try to talk about the limited editions a little bit, but right now I'm getting a lot of that kind of vibes, mixing Intensely and Absolutely here, I will say. At least in the air, I'm getting that a lot. In the air, I'm getting a lot of lavender, I feel like. I'm getting a lot of vanilla and a leathery kind of facet in that air. And then just a little bit leather facet in the air. And then I'm getting that chestnut. The chestnut it's not as sweet in this one, in my opinion. This is more like a cooked chestnut a little bit. If you have chestnuts roasting on the stove overall. But getting a lot of that in the air. And let's go to the hand here. But in the hand, so from my hand here, it smells a little different than the air. I'm getting more of that vanilla coming out of my skin. More leathery kind of. It isn't that animalic leather if you watch my review on Bad Boy Elixir. It's not that type of leather. This one's more smooth and less animalic. More of a kind of, not like a bag, not like a handbag kind of leather. This one's more of just a smooth, I don't know what I'm trying to say here with the leather, but it's not like that animalic type of leather that I was getting in Bad Boy Elixir. And of course, these two fragrances are completely different. I was just trying to compare the leather here. And this leather note is going to remind me, yeah, okay, now it's making more sense. So this one, I feel like it's got aspirations or basically things from Strong With You leather, the limited edition one. They kind of threw that in there. And you're getting that with this. That's the leather I can relate it to, okay? It's not that leather that I was mentioning before, that kind of animalic. It's not that at all. This one is lining up with Strong With You leather here. That's the same feel I get with it, which it makes sense. It's the same, it's a flanker, it's in the same line now in Strong With You leather, so they just kind of took that, put that in this. But as this fragrance is drying down here off my skin, I am getting in a little oud, a little sprinkle oud, and of course Strong With You oud. So I'm getting basically those two fragrances combined. And if I had to say right now off first rip what this fragrance is reminding me of, it reminds me of if you took oud and leather, and then also too you took the original DNA, threw them together, mishmashed them, and then you got this here. And this one, I will say, when I'm smelling it right now, compared to Absolutely, compared to Intensely, compared to the OG, and I am leaving out Freeze and Only. I haven't smelled Only, so I'm not going to comment. I heard that's a fresher take. And Freeze, I do have that, but I'm not going to comment on Freeze as well because this doesn't really smell like Freeze. This isn't really fresh. This is more deep, leathery, vanilla, chestnut type of fragrance here. But overall, as of now, off first impressions, this one is more redefined as any of the fragrances in the line. I feel like the materials they used in this fragrance are better compared to Absolutely or Intensely or the OG. And of course, it makes sense. Usually with a Parfum concentration, you're going to get a deeper, richer take on that fragrance DNA. So this does make sense. It makes perfect sense. But this isn't one of those flankers where you're like, how's this even a flanker? It doesn't even smell like it. No, this smells like that strong OG DNA for sure. And it smells like they've taken bits and pieces of all those other fragrances that I mentioned, leather, oud, and then the OG, and put them all together. Would I say that this fragrance is redundant? Yes, I would say yes, it's redundant. In a sense that if you already have, which a lot of people do from what I've seen, if you have Intensely, I would say this is a big enough difference for me. I would not say Intensely in this. I would say those would be a good 1-2 combo. If you're wanting something more projecting, you wanting something more kind of youthful, definitely go for Strong and Few Intensely. And then if you want to kind of have a redefined, more laid back, kind of leather tones, more deeper, richer take on that DNA and a little bit reined back, more sophisticated, grown man, I guess, type of smell, definitely go with the Parfum. That would be a good 1-2 combo. Absolutely. Intensely would be good for the clubs and if you're going out, not on the town. This one would be good for a nice sit-down dinner on a date, for prime example. Or also, if it's the wintertime, this would be an excellent choice if you kind of want something a little bit reined back, at least off first whiff here. And this is projecting. Don't get me wrong. It's projecting off my skin. I'm just saying it projects less than Intensely. It's probably about around the same realm as Absolutely for me. And this would be good to wear to work if it's cold outside for sure. For me, daytime or nighttime with this fragrance, couldn't go wrong with it. But this is, as it's drying down more and more on my skin, it's getting more of that leather nuance, getting more of a little oudy smell in this one here too. And it's that designer oud. It's the oud from Strong with You, oud, the limited edition. But overall, I am really enjoying my time with this fragrance, and that vanilla leather combo is working well. It doesn't go in one area too much compared to the other, and I'm not getting that lavender as much. That chestnut is still around too. But overall, like I mentioned, if you have Absolutely as well, that is a boozy take on this DNA. It's not the same, and it might not be redundant to have, but I feel like if you had the original and you had this, there'd be no need to have the original, in my opinion. If you bought this first, but if you had the original and you had this, going back to the original, I was going to say, it'd probably be possibly redundant. Overall, like I mentioned, you're going to get what you're going to get with the fragrance. It's a Strong Few fragrance at the end of the day. That DNA's there, but I feel like you can use this in other situations compared to Intensely. Absolutely, it might be a closer kind of gauge to where you can use this fragrance, but Absolutely throws in that booze that I like a lot. This one throws in that leather note, and I kind of mentioned this before I saw a comment, I left a comment on a channel. These Strong U fragrances kind of remind me of sports video games. They tweak a few things and then they highlight one big thing. And that's what this fragrance is kind of reminding me. This line is kind of reminding me. And it's a true flanker. It's just highlighting one thing. But with all that being said, I'm going to have to give this fragrance because it does smell darn good, okay? I am giving this fragrance here, for me and my taste, off this year, as of now, I'm going to give it an 8.6 out of 10. This has room to grow. I love the DNA. I love that chestnut. But Absolutely still my favorite. Intensely, this has a run to give Intensely the money, okay? Run at its money, basically. This could overtake Intensely for me. We'll see. We'll see. Only time will tell. The limited editions, I will say, The one I like the most out of limited editions are tobacco. Tobacco is my favorite out of all those limited editions. So this one, I would say for me, they're totally different fragrances because you throw that tobacco in there, more spicy. That one's more spicy. This one is going to get, right now it's 4th place. So I got intensely over this, and I got tobacco. But this is very close to tobacco and intensely for me. And I got to get more wears, try it out, see how it projects, see how well it does in the air because we're in air conditioning. Now I got to see how it does outside. I got to see how it does out in public, reactions, all that type of jazz. But yeah, this has been an enjoyable experience. Going to give it one more whiff. And yeah, I'm going to stick with that 8.6 right now. But like I always mention, fragrances have room to grow. And if you're wanting something, you're wanting concoction from those limited editions, oud, and leather, and then you want that original DNA, throw it in here. You want something with more redefined oils, smooth blend, not really screechy at all. Definitely check this one out, and you're not going to be disappointed if you like the Stronger You DNA. You're going to know what you're getting yourself into. But overall, I'm happy. I'm happy with my purchase, okay? But yeah, go out and if you're interested, sample this one because it's probably in department stores by now and all that type of jazz. And yeah, that's my first impression over Stronger You Parfum. A lot of exciting things coming to the channel, everybody, like I mentioned earlier in the video. Appreciate everybody sticking around me this long throughout this video. And I want you all to stay healthy, be true, stay positive, and I will see you all in the next video.